Hi everyone, welcome back to Sunshine Soap and Candle Company. About 2 years ago, I published a video called The Perfect Emulsified Sugar Scrub, which you guys really liked. And it still remains one of the most popular recipes that people come over to my Patreon campaign for. Since that video has been published, I have made this sugar scrub over and over again, and I've refined and perfected my technique, and I thought it was about time to give you an updated version of how to make this perfect emulsified sugar scrub. I'm also going to be answering some of those real commonly asked questions I get about this recipe. So in this video today, you're going to get the full visual tutorial process and step-by-step of how to make this amazing sugar scrub. And if you want the full written recipe and tutorial, please head on over to my Patreon campaign where you can unlock this recipe for just a small $5 pledge. There's still so much to take advantage of over there. And last month we had a record high number of patrons, so come on over and see what it's all about. The link to my campaign is in the description box below. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and share it with a friend and subscribe to my channel. All right, let's make some sugar scrub. All right, so the first thing you want to do is make sure that you have cleaned and wiped down and sanitized your entire workstation, including anything that's going to come into contact with your product. So next thing we want to do is go ahead and weigh out the sugar for this recipe. Now, last time when I published this video, I did everything by hand. So you saw me weigh out the sugar probably in a big mixing bowl. And I have since graduated to a KitchenAid mixer bowl. It's much easier on my wrists and my hands. And so we're gonna go ahead and weigh out the sugar that we need and then transfer it into this KitchenAid mixing bowl. I keep my sugar, I buy it in bulk, and I keep it in this big bucket. Okay. And then we're just going to transfer this sugar right into this KitchenAid mixing bowl. All right, and then we're just going to set this aside and start weighing out the ingredients that we're going to be melting down. So we're just going to add everything to this beaker. So the first thing we're going to do is weigh off the stearic acid. So we're using vegetable-based stearic acid, and this is going to help thicken the sugar scrub. It combines really nicely with the emulsifier. It adds conditioning properties to the sugar scrub and lowers the pH just a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and add in our stearic acid. And then to this, we're going to be adding in some beeswax. Now, this sugar scrub is not vegan because I do use beeswax, but also the white granulated sugar is not considered a vegan product. So although it doesn't have any animal byproducts in it, the way that they process it makes it so that it's not a vegan white sugar. So if you would like this to be a vegan recipe, you need to find a vegan white sugar, and then also you can use a different wax other than beeswax. You could use skin-safe soy wax. You can use candelilla wax. And there are a few other vegetable-based waxes that you could use in place of the beeswax, which I have actually experimented with soy wax and candelilla wax in this recipe before settling on the beeswax. So personally, I think the beeswax is the best one. It just works the best for this recipe for my taste. So then to this, we're going to be adding in the soft and silky e-wax. Now this is what is going to give your sugar scrub a lotion-like quality. So once this comes into contact with water and you start to scrub it onto your skin, you will notice that it turns into a lotion-like texture as the sugar dissolves down into the water and you rub it in. So this is the star ingredient to this recipe, and it also really helps, I think it really helps the oil and the sugars to combine in such a way that the oils are not floating on top. And I'll show you at the end after everything's set up what it looks like. So the ratios here are really, really important. So this is what makes your sugar scrub rinse cleanly off your skin and down the drain, and you don't have any oil sitting on top of your skin. This is why people like emulsified sugar scrubs. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is go ahead and add in our coconut oil. Okay, the coconut oil is also going to add some moisture to this sugar scrub, and it has good cleansing properties to it. And it also is going to help with the overall hardness when this sets up. And then next up is the sweet almond oil. Now, a lot of times you guys will ask me, can I sub out the coconut oil for shea butter? Can I sub out the sweet almond oil for a different oil? So yes, the coconut oil you can sub it out with shea butter if you like. That would be something that's very comparable to the coconut oil in consistency. And as far as the sweet almond oil goes, you can use any light carrier oil in place of the oils that I'm using here today. This is just what I find to be the best combination for my liking. Okay, so I get all my oils in bulk, so you'll see I'm just coming down here to get what I need into a Pyrex before weighing it off. And then to this, we're going to be adding in some avocado oil. Now, avocado oil is very conditioning. It's great for aging skin. It's got fantastic kind of emollient and moisturizing properties to it. So I really like it. And it's also an inexpensive oil. Okay. And then next up, we're going to be adding in rice bran oil. Now, rice bran oil is also an inexpensive and readily available oil that has really good antioxidant properties. And you could use this in place of vitamin E. It has a lot of the same properties as vitamin E. So this is the combination of oils and waxes that I like to use. Also, when I publish this new recipe, I will be putting in percentages, which a lot of you guys have asked me about in the past on the old recipe. So we will be including that in the new recipe, and I'm going to be leaving the old recipe up so that you can kind of compare, because the old recipe I split up the batch and made 2 separate batches, and I thought you'd like to see that still, so I'll keep that up but also show you what it looks like just to make one larger batch. Okay, so right here we're going to stop and we're going to melt this down, and I'll be right back when everything is melted down. Okay, everything is now melted down, and we're going to go ahead and add in the fragrance oil. So today I am using sour watermelon candy by Nature's Garden. It's a really nice summertime fragrance, and of course it smells a lot like that watermelon Jolly Rancher. Super good, super fun. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and put that in there. And then I'm gonna go ahead and add in my fragrance. All right. And we're just gonna mix that well to combine. And then the next thing we're going to do is go ahead and add in the color. Now, I was looking for a good kind of bright watermelon type color, so I have decided to use Firecracker by Nurture Soap. And then we're going to be adding in some poppy seeds at the end to make it look like little watermelon seeds, and I'm using about a teaspoon. And I'm just gonna get that nice and distributed. Now you guys, if you've seen the other sugar scrub video, you are noticing my technique is much different in this one. I'm getting everything melted down and into this container before we add it to the sugar. And also the use of the KitchenAid mixer. And I think in the other video I added the sugar in. I added the sugar into the melted down ingredients, and this time we're going to be doing it the other way around. I'm adding the liquid ingredients into the sugar, and it still comes out perfect. Okay, that's a nice watermelon type color. And once it gets mixed in with the sugar, it will become more pink, light pink, lighter. Okay. So we are going to be adding in a preservative. However, at this point it's too warm to be adding in the preservative, so we'll be adding that in last. But we are going to go ahead and combine everything together. So I'll bring you over to the KitchenAid mixer to show you the next step. Okay, so I went ahead and just took the temperature on this, and actually it is at a low enough point to go ahead and add in the preservative, and that's the easiest way to do this. That way it's already combined, and it will disperse a little easier. Now, sometimes people will ask me why they need a preservative for this recipe. I do get that question often, and technically you don't need a preservative for this recipe, but if it does come into contact with water, which most people are going to bring the whole container into their shower, if it does come into contact with water, then you will definitely want a preservative, because once water is introduced into there, it's very, very easy for it to grow bacteria with the oils and the water combo. So I always add a preservative. If you were making it just for yourself, if you were making this just for yourself, and you could just take out a little bit that you needed into a separate container, into your shower, and just leave the big container out of the shower. Technically it does not need a preservative, but I always take the container scrub into the shower, and I'm sure that is what my customers are doing as well. Can only assume that's what's going on. Okay, now that we have all the melted down ingredients and fragrance and preservative, it's time to go ahead and combine this with the sugar. So now I'm going to bring you over to the KitchenAid mixer. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to turn this on low and just start to combine that sugar up a little bit and get the little chunks broken up, and then I'm slowly going to start adding in the liquid ingredients as it's going on low. Okay, and as you can see, it's starting to combine rather nicely. So I'm just going to kick it up a little bit more. And then I'm going to stop here actually, and I'm just going to scrape down the sides and make sure everything is getting well combined. Okay, and then the last thing we're going to do here is add in some organic poppy seeds, and this will give us sort of a watermelon seed look to it. And then I'm going to mix it up a little bit more. Okay, so this is now all nice and combined, and we're going to go ahead and transfer it into our little PET containers. I'll be right back to show you how that looks. All right, so we're going to go ahead and transfer the scrub into these little PET containers. Now, I've gotten these a lot from Nature's Garden. This time around I got them from Amazon because Nature's Garden happened to be out of stock. So just to give you a few more options of where you can pick those up. They're great for scrubs and lotions and different types of cosmetics. So I like this green spatula because it's got a little bit of a lip on it, and it just helps me get the scrub in there. And the scrub still is a little bit warm and on the looser side, so I will show you one that's already set up and that's been hanging around for a bit so you can see what it looks like. And I always give these about 24 hours to set up before I take a look and see the consistency, because they do take about 24 hours to get completely set up. So there's one, and I really just love the little poppy seeds in there. It looks super cute. All right, they're all packaged up, and this fills up 6 full containers and partially a 7th one from the 8-ounce PET containers that I got off Amazon. I think the Nature's Garden containers probably are a little bit shorter and maybe hold a little bit less. Like I think I can get a full 7 out of the Nature's Garden ones. So I'm going to clean this up and then I'm going to bring you back for a product demo. All right, so before I show you a product demo here, I want to go ahead and give you an idea of what it looks like after it's completely set up. So this is a peach Bellini one that's been hanging around for a little while now, and I want to show you what it looks like. There's no floating oils on the top. It's got a really nice consistency, and it's very, very shipping friendly, even in the summertime. As you can see, nothing's coming out. And so it's just a really, really great overall. That's why I called it the perfect emulsified sugar scrub recipe. So here's the one that we're going to do the product demo on. So I'm going to go ahead and get a little bit in my hand here, wetting down my other hand. Okay. And as you can see, as soon as the water hits it, it just gets a really nice emulsified lotion-like consistency to it. So not only is it exfoliating the dead skin, it's bringing some really good moisture to it, non-greasy feeling moisture. So this is safe to use on your body. A lot of times people will also ask me about using this on the face, and I actually have another really good facial scrub recipe that you can check out on the Patreon campaign. This one is probably not totally suitable for the face, just with the type of ingredients that are in there and the sugar ratio to oil. Okay, so then you just go ahead and you rinse it off, and it just leaves your skin feeling soft and exfoliated without that heavy, greasy, no oils are sitting on top. It rinses away very cleanly. All right, everybody, I hope you liked the revised version of the perfect emulsified sugar scrub. If you did, please remember to give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment or question below, subscribe to my channel, and share this video with a friend. Keep shining. Bye.